Yes, people, how are we all? So, there's a lot of stuff going around about players staying, leaving. I want to do this video now before all the bigger rumours start coming in. I want this to be my pure thoughts. And the criteria for this is kind of a mix between what I think will happen, what I want. I'll try to mix them together to make a decision on each player and whether they'll stay or go. I've included players out on loan. I've included players, you know, in the youth system, some of the top or the higher youth system, and obviously the actual team. Let's get into it. So here it is. Here it is. They're all here. There's some behind my head. The right backs, Drama and Ailing are behind my head. Christensen's there. So here you go. Stay, leave, or loan. They're the three options we've got. They'll go in each category. Right, let's start. There's a lot of defenders. Let's get on to them. We'll start with Rasmus. Now, season one, Rasmus Christensen. I think he's going to stay. I do. I don't think he's the type of person who going to demand a move away. I think he's all right going to the Championship and building his career. I think he's comfortable. Again, I could be wrong on any of these. Let's just get that out of the way. I could be wrong. Some of them, I have no idea. I think he will stay, and I think I want him to stay. James DeBeo, loan. Good young player, had a good season with the 21s. Could really do with starting some football games. Maybe abroad, maybe in League One, Championship, lower Championship potentially. Good player, good future. Loan deal will do him very well. Charlie Creswell. Yeah. We have to build that defence around him. There's no doubt about it. Charlie Creswell went to Millwall, as he said, a boy, and came back a man. Difficult loan spell with some downs and a lot of ups. And he's really learned, hopefully, how to develop. And I hope he's developed. And I think that is a perfect loan for him to develop, given the situation he's been in, given the difficult times he's had. Seen, and we know his clear quality. A lot of people rate Charlie Creswell. Keeping Creswell and building this team around him at the back is huge. Stay. Llorente's leaving, innit? I don't think we need to speak about that. Llorente's going. Robin Koch, leaving. Again, that type of player. I think he wants to leave. I think thinks he can play higher up, which is fair enough. I hope he's right in that. I'm not saying he's not. I just hope he is. Difficult choice to make. Doesn't want to play in the Championship. Wants to play in the Champions League. Robin Koch will leave. Again, though. Yeah, that's on him. Jeremiah Mullen. Good player. And I was going to put him in stay, but I think he might go on loan based on my next decision. Very good for the 21s. There is a situation where he could stay, genuinely. I'm making a split decision here on him and Monteiro. I think he'll be the one to stay. I think one of these two will go on loan. I think Monteiro just got a bit more solid air about him. Mullen is an outstanding young player, don't get me wrong. But I really think he'd benefit loan away for a season. I really do. A good loan, though. And then he can really grow and come back into it next season as a top player. Monteiro, for me, there's a bit more calmness. He seems like a more experienced player when he plays. His tackling is outstanding. Again, both good players, but Monteiro will stay. Liam Cooper. I was honestly torn on this one because I'm just not sure we can rely on Liam Cooper based on his injury record and his age and his fitness. But I still think having a person who has experienced all that around the squad, not starting, not necessarily playing every game, not starting every game, around the squad is a very good idea. So for me, Liam Cooper does stay. Let's get this straight. I don't think he starts. If we need him to start in the Championship, that's a good level for him to come in and be very comfortable. I think Liam Cooper stays, and again, he's the club captain. He's been the club captain under many coaches for many years. That is for a reason. He stays. Max Wober. This is one of the most difficult ones. I'm fighting between my head and my heart. People are dismissing Wober's abilities. People are telling me that he's overrated and he's not been very good based on one or two performances. We forget about the other really good ones he had. And actually, before his injury, how he was vital for us, because he was. People forget that. Wober is an excellent centre-back and would be easily one of the best centre-backs in the Championship. I have no doubt about that. Fight me. Honestly, he would. I would, as a club, would do anything to make him stay. Has he got a clause in his contract? I don't know. That is a big tipping point. Because a lot of clubs will be after him, and if the value's right, the club will sell. I think we need to build the team around him and Creswell at centre back. I think that's a really good centre back partnership right there. And with these three guys hanging around it as backups, or maybe starting as a back five, real potential. I think we can do it. I think Max Wöber will stay. Pascal Struijk. Again, a really tough one. I'll be real with you lot. This is a tough one, and I genuinely hope he's all right, because he doesn't look like a player who's interested in football. It looks like a player who's thinking about other things, like a player who's not focused on it. Whatever reason, I don't know, but I genuinely hope, as a person, he's all right. I hope his life's going well. I hope he's. You don't know what people are going through, ever, and I hope he's all right. He might be fine. He might just need a rest and a restart. He looks like a shell of himself. It's really sad to see. And there is a way. There is, for me, a way Struijk could leave. I'm gonna put him there. And don't get me wrong, he could easily stay. He could. I'm not sure. Just not sure. I hope he's all right. I hope he's happy in Leeds, and I hope he wants to stay, because I'd like him to. I genuinely would. I'm just not sure. I'm not sure. I'm really not. That's a controversial one. Yelde, for me, another loan would be good for him. Really establish himself, another loan. Because he had a bit of a hit and miss time at Rotherham. Really good times, but then got dropped at the end. I think he really needs to establish himself. So another decent loan would do him well. Firpo, I think he's going. I'd like him in the Championship. I just don't think he wants to stay. I think it's a point in his career now where he just wants to play a decent level. And for him, he will have a few suitors in Spain. I genuinely believe that. And I think Junior Firpo will leave. Right, where do we go now? Fullbacks. Cody Drame leaving. I've watched a few games of Drama this season doing my dissertation. I watched a lot of Championship, and Luke were on quite a few times. He's currently not performing at a level that people make out. I know people saying he used to get man of the matches. Right, let's be real. They were online votes. We know what that happens. We know what happens when there's online votes. These players hijack it. Let's be real. He has a very good potential. He does. He has a very good potential. I just think for his development, he has to leave Leeds. I think it's best for him, and I agree it's best for the club to get the value from him now. Good luck to him in the Premier League, which is probably where he'll go, to a lower league Premier League side. I hope he can develop. Best of luck to him. But at the moment, we are overrating him. I think there's real potential in that player, but it's not as good as people say. He gets beat a lot. But good luck to him, and hope he can develop into a player that we know he can be. Ayling, he stays. Let's be real. Again, I'm thinking about, do I want him to start? Is he going to be that player? I'm not sure. But again, having him around this core of players who understands what it feels like to go up. I don't want him to be a mainstay in the team. I don't want him to have that influence. I think we need to sign fullbacks badly. But for me, he stays. I know people are going to get annoyed by this because, the old guard and all that. Look, you want these players. I promise you. Maybe not if we went back up. Okay. Then you need to move on, potentially, at their age and their ability and what they can bring. But right now, we need them. Maybe not starting, but as a part of this group, we need them. Should we go now? Where should we go? We'll go to centre mid. Centre mid. It's got a few interesting ones in there. Sam Greenwood, loaned for me. I don't like Sam Greenwood as a midfielder. I think his attributes are best suited to striker. I think he's a striker. And I think he's falling victim to that. And the reason I want him to go on loan is purely based on I want him to develop into the best player he can. I don't think he can do that at Leeds. There's too many players in his position that are more natural and more experienced that will start over him. I don't want him to just sit on the bench for another year. I want him to play football. I'm sure he wants to. Whether he has to leave or go on loan, I think he has to do that. And I think he might go on loan. He might leave, to be honest, guys. I just want him to develop into the best guy he can be. And I don't think he can do that at this current moment in Leeds if he wants to be a central midfielder. I think there's a player in there, really, I really do. But no. For me, loan or leave. In fact, I'm going to put him in leave. No, I'll put him in loan. Matt Rocker, leave. Look, decent teams in Spain want Matt Rocker. He has a clear ability on the ball. He'll fit into certain systems very well. He'll do very well in his career. Not a player for the Championship. At the age now where he doesn't need to prove himself in the Championship, he's at the age now where he needs to push on. This is the point. Rocker will leave. Lewis Bay, I think another loan. He did well at Oxford, but for me, I just think having another loan in there, maybe a Championship loan, a lower Championship loan, will really help bring him out. He potentially could be on the bench for Leeds and be that type of player. Yes, 100%. And take these loans with a pinch of salt because they could all be subs. They could all stay around the team. I just think that would do him well. Darko JB, stay. There's a strong possibility he starts for Leeds United next year. If he comes back from this international break and the pre-season with a mentality of I want to play and he does everything in his power to be the guy who starts, this guy would tear it up. Would absolutely destroy it. I promise you. Darko JB is an outstanding young player. He stays. Keep him. Keep that man. And build around him as well. Future. Real good player. Tyler Adams. This one is... Let's be real, right? Tyler Adams is probably going to leave. Right? Let's be real, right? You guys agree? Let me know. He's probably going to leave, isn't he? Let's be honest. But there's a small bit of me that thinks there's a way we could convince him 1 year. And what I'm thinking is, you look at the World Cup, what he's got to play for there. That's not until 3 years, guys. 1 year in the Championship. Be that main man. Be that hub. Be the captain, even. Be that guy in the team. Demand that. Be part of it. Get promoted with this team. Play in the Premier League and excel. Go up with these players. Build around him. Build around this squad. The other side of that is everyone in the USA now, the standard of player there has gone up. And most of them are playing in top European sides now. He would be playing in the second tier of English football as the captain. You know what I mean? I'm not sure that suits him. That's down to him. I'd love him to stay, and I think there is a way he could. If I'm being really honest, I think he goes. He could stay. I think he goes. Adam Forshaw stays. For me. A lot of people talking about the old guard. Look, we're not in a position now where we can get rid of all our best players and all our experienced players. You'll leave yourself in a difficult situation. And I'm not saying these guys are the future. They need to be around the squad with that experience in areas where you need it. You will need it in the Championship. Massively. And these three right here have that. Forshaw's done good when he's come on this season. You can't rely on him. That's why I wouldn't build the squad around him. But he's got to be part of that group. He's got to be part of that squad, right? He's got to be part of it. A lot will learn from him. And look what Bielsa said about Adam Forshaw. Look at those words he said about him and how much he rated him and where he could go in his career. He's a good player. In a team that is based around the possession style and understanding possession and movements, he could be very effective when needed. Don't rely on him, but he stays. Archie Gray, stay. What's enough to be said? Copy and paste with what I said with Darko JB. Stay. Great player, good career. Probably won't start every single game, but what I saw at the start of the season, the guy I'm seeing now at the end of the season, is he's grown into a man. Seriously. He could be big next year. Could be. Don't need to rush him. He's so young. So is Darko, but two very talented young players. Perkins. I'm torn. Stay. See, this could be stay or loan. It could be loan. Actually, loan. I think he's going to want to play, and I don't think Leeds can promise him more minutes than he wants. I think Perkins having a decent Championship loan somewhere else would be very beneficial to him. I'd like him to stay. I think there's a way he could come off the bench, but let's be real. We don't know what our recruitment process is. We don't know how many players we're going to bring in. There's a way that Perkins doesn't get a sniff. And I think him on loan, again, will help him develop. He could stay. Tyler Roberts, I think he leaves. He went to QPR. He's not been fit most of the season, shown in glimpses, but it's the same old stuff. I think we've got to cut ties with Tyler Roberts. Not fit, fortunately. Joe Gelhardt, I'll go stay. This is a tough one for me. Again, it's about now he's played constant football at Sunderland. He might get the mentality of he wants to continue that. Can he get that at Leeds? I'm not convinced he can. Look, we know there's a clear talented player in there. We've seen it in the Premier League. Something happened. He's not quite pushing that next level. He's kind of halted in his development. And I'm looking at his development and I want him to develop similar to Greenwood. I'm just not sure he'll go on another loan now. I think he's done with that. I think he wants to be at a club. Will that be us or not? This one's really hard. What do you guys think? And it could be either way for me. It really could. I'll go stay. I'll go stay. Right, here we go. Brendan Aronson. Big one. You guys know I like him. I stick up for him. I think the criticism of his weight is rubbish. Although I agree he could do with strength and conditioning. The fact that you're basing his entire personality and performance and actually being very weird about his weight, being saying things that are very wrong, is BS. As a player, as a person that's often been said bullied, but you know, got the mick out of by my weight, basically all my life. And never had a problem physically in football. Yet when you play bad, it's down to that. I think it's so wrong. But that is what it is. Anyway, with Aronson, this one's important for me, and there's similar players like this, but with Aronson, look, the best thing for Aronson's career, in my opinion, is to stay. He has shown at the start of the season, and people forgetting this, he's been the bad all year. He hasn't. He was one of our best players for the first 6, 7, 8 games. People just don't. It annoys me. He was good. He was good at the start of the season. The first quarter of it, he was a good player. It annoys me. Look, he's not got the end product yet. He's not developed that part. And he needs to work hard on that more than his physicality. And people are. This whole physical championship is rubbish. The reason championship's got that physical thing is because the football's not as good. It's slower and it's more of a slog, and the players are not as good. So they're at that level together where they rely on hard tackles or shoulder barges or whatever. But if I've watched a lot of the championship, it's on Sky when I'm doing my work. It's not that physical at all. It's not even. The Premier League has the most physical athletes in the world. They're the best athletes in the world. Quickest, strongest, whatever. They are the best. Championship is not more physical than the Premier League. Not even close. There's levels. Aronson will be quicker than most central defenders or CDMs in the Championship. He will outthink them and he will outpace them. Strength won't matter. It might do him well to get a little bit, to really use his body well. That will help him. But to think he will struggle because of his size in the Championship, to me, is wrong. But whatever. But in terms of staying and leaving, I think he goes. I don't think he can be bothered with that. I think, and it's frustrating because I think that's the best thing for him is the Championship. I think he can really grow and develop in that league. I do. But he's going to want to leave. These American guys don't seem too bothered about the Championship. They want to play in the Prem. They want to play at the top, which is fair enough. I think he's going to struggle. I hope not. I hope I'm wrong. I just wish he stayed. I think he could really grow into a good player. I think that's best for his career. I think he could really establish himself. But Aronson's probably going to leave. Unfortunately. For me, anyway. I know a lot of you guys will disagree. That's my thought on it. Wingers. Where do we start with these lot? Oh, Costa, leave, yeah. What do we need to say about Helder Costa? Congratulations, he won the league, but I think that's cut ties with Helder. Nastera, too good. He's at that point in career now. He don't need to prove himself. I just think he's too good of a player for the Championship. I think there's going to be a lot of European teams wanting him. There's an injury record, which is a bit of but no. Sinistera is leaving. Sinistera is leaving. Yeah. And what a player, by the way. If he didn't have that injury record, he would he'd have kept us in the league, in my opinion. He's that good. He'll go to a European side. Good luck to him. Genuinely good luck. Wilfred Nonto. This one is. Wilfred Nonto. I'm going to say it. I'm going to do it, guys. I think he stays. This is similar to Aronson. I think for his development, he needs to stay. Look, he's 19 years old. 19. And I know people saying, like, you know, I saw comments saying football is a short career. 100% true. He has not even started it. He's 19. He's in the first few years of his professional career. 19. What he needs to do right now is look at himself. What is best for him to develop. What does he think is? And I hope he has the right people around him. For me, from my perspective, and this is no expert opinion, this is my perspective, from what I understand and what I've witnessed through development of players. Taking that step up early can be horrible to your career. Look at Charles de Ketelaere. He went to AC Milan and he has not developed this season. He's regressed. And that is sad. Next year he could come out and be an outstanding player. He could. I'm looking at other players like that and do it too early. And there doesn't need to be a rush at that age at 19. Stay in the Championship. Score 10 to 15 goals in the Championship. Tear wingers apart. Get back to the Premier League. Then you've got more teams watching you. You've done it at a consistent basis. You don't need to take a risk and go to another country, try and prove it. Do it in the Championship. And if you keep us there, we get back up straight away. Your value's already skyrocketed. You're a much more experienced player playing 46 games a season. And then you're looking at Italy in 2 years' time. Good year in the Premier League. You're part of the Italy squad. And this is what I mean. Are they even part of the World Cup? Not are they? Oh. You know what I mean? He could go to Italy, play alright, do some good things. He could. I don't know if he will. I'm not sure at what level he wants to play. I think for his career, it's best in terms of his development to just stay at Leeds. He'd be back in the Premier League. He could be back in the Premier League for 21 years old. He's still at the start of your career at that point. There's zero rush for Wilfred Nonto. And I hope he's got the right people around him. I do not want to see him disappear into oblivion, because that would be extremely sad. I'd hate to see that, because he's extremely talented. And he has to understand how early he is in his career. And now taking a Championship to really get them games on your belt and understand a different side of the game will really help him in the future. My opinion. Dan James stays. I think there's a lot of... Dan James was good in the Championship. He's an example of a player who left too early, in my opinion. Went to Man United. Regressed, got worse. It's not really recovered. I think Championship for him now is where he should be. And I think he'll tear it up. Same with Nonto as well. Look at Grealish. Stayed out longer for Villa. Left eventually. Got 100 million for him. Just won a Premier League. There's no rush. Somerville. He could go, you know. I think some of us a little older than Nonto. He's kind of got that in him now that he wants to take that next step, I think. I don't think he's bothered about going back to Championship personally. I think Somerville leaves. I just don't think he's bothered about the Championship. I think he wants to leave. He's 21 now, a bit older than Nonto. He's the age Nonto will be if we go down and come up straight away. He'll still be so young. I think he will leave, yeah. Just got a feeling, guys. I don't know what it is. I've just got a feeling he'll leave. Harrison's is leaving in it. Extremely sad. What a player he's been for us, honestly. People talk about his inconsistency, yeah. But a part of this team, how can you blame him at times? We've been so reliant on him in the last 5 years to perform. Last year we had Rafinha, so he kind of lost that kind of reliance. But the first season he was so good. And this year he's had his moments where he's really dragged the team through. Excellent professional, an excellent guy. For me, I'll miss him, but I think he deserves that step up now. He's proven for Leeds that he's got it in him, the talent, the raw talent. Under a side, he can develop more consistency. He can really take it by storm wherever he goes next. Good luck to Harrison. He leaves. Mateo Joseph, stay. I think there's going to be a lot of teams, and I think he's going to demand to play more, or he could leave. Genuinely, I think that's the thing that could happen. I think he still needs to be patient. He's so young. But Mateo Joseph, I think, will stay. But let's not bank on it. Rodrigo, leaving. Yeah, too good again. Again, like Harrison, thank you for this season. You tried everything you did in your power to get Leeds in this league. Scoring 14 goals in the league is phenomenal for a team where we finished. Nothing but respect for Rodrigo, but go and enjoy yourself. Go and score more goals somewhere, please. What a player. I really, really like Rodrigo. Yeah, but goodbye. Bamford. Actually, before I do the last two, Meslier is leaving. I don't need to say much. I think Robles should stay. I think he's proven in the Championship he's that good enough keeper to be at a top side in the Championship, take you through it with his experience and leadership. Meslier is going to want to leave, I think. He's that type of guy. He's not going to want to go back to the Championship at his age and at his stature, I guess. He's going to want to leave. Fair play, good luck to him. Bamford and Rutter. I'm not putting him there, by the way. I'm just leaving him there for now. It's so difficult because for me, Rutter is a type of player. Bamford is a type of person who I suggest should leave because of what he's been through with his family and stuff. I just think that's so bang out of order, and I wouldn't want to stay at a club that's happened. So much has happened in this year with him. I don't know if he wants to continue. I hope he does in a way because I still think he's got part of this squad. I've just got a feeling Bamford might leave. I could be 1,000% wrong, but I just think he might. That's me. Jorginho Rutter. Stay. We have to believe in him. He has to believe in him. The manager has to believe in him. We have to build around that and really help him develop. I'm talking about development. And I think the Championship could be a really good step for him to grow. And I hate to turn into more of a man. Do you know what I mean? He's such a young guy. He can really go there and understand his role in a team. Understand more psychological stuff about football and how to develop, the best way to develop. I think you can really find out the talent in this guy. We've seen it in bits. Really talented, naturally. He has to just understand when to do certain things and how to do certain things. I'm worried he might want to leave because we've seen he might be uncomfortable here. His English isn't great. He doesn't fit in as well. He potentially could leave, but I hope he stays. I hope Jorginho Rutter grits his teeth, says, you know what, I'm going to give this a go. Genuinely hope he does. Because I think in there's a real player. I'd love to see him stay for Leeds United. And that's it. That's the list. I'm going to put that into a team format now. This is what I've got. Now, that is bare in it. What I'm going to do is this. I think Bamford could stay. I think he could. I also think Somerville might stay. Potentially. And I also think Strauch could stay. Now, these three are maybes. Now, I wasn't 100% sure on them. So I put them here, maybe. Change the colour of them. Turn them yellow. Yeah. Maybes. What else was the other one? Maybe. And that's how I think it could look. I'm going to do this. Orange. Very unlikely, but he's there. For me, the biggest concern in this is the left back position. We have decent centre backs there. Again, looking at fullbacks and depth on the wings. Obviously, Rutter could play out wide. Then I'm looking at depth up front. Yeah, we need a lot of players to sign. Look how many we could be losing if it was what I thought would happen. Yeah, it's a lot of people. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. 12 players. Let's see. That's what I've got. That's what I've gone with. Ailing and Christmas in up here, you guys can't see. Let me know what you guys think, but it's clear we need to sign a lot of players regardless of who we keep. Let me know what you guys think could happen. That's just what I think. interesting topic, good conversation to have. Let me know what you guys think. I appreciate support as usual. And this could go either way. Like, a lot could change, but that's just what I think might happen right there. But yeah, I appreciate support.